Hello, friends, and welcome to Adventures in Pixieland. My name's Amy, and I'm an ordained minister, and we are in Bible study. We are in the King James Version of the Bible, and we are in the Gospel according to St. Luke. We are in chapter 4, and we are completing that, picking up at verse 31 and going until verse 44, which is the completion of chapter 4. Let's jump in. And Jesus disappeared from the crowd right before they threw him off a cliff and came down to Capernaum in the city of Galilee and taught them on the Sabbath days. And they were astonished at his doctrine, for his word was with power. When you speak with a certain level of confidence, you give people pause. And they feel like they've got to verify their information before they correct you. I'm familiar with this sensation. Of course, my example is the Messiah. So, And in the synagogue, there was a man which had a spirit of an unclean devil and cried out with a loud voice. So just pause right there. Inside their holy building, a person with an unclean spirit was able to walk in and sit down. So just pause. In Christianity, that's like, I'm sorry, what? Because the grounds are consecrated. People with unclean spirits aren't supposed to be able to get in. The unclean spirit would keep them from wanting to enter the building. This is an unheard of thing. So, just, okay. In the synagogue, there was a man which had the spirit of an unclean devil, and cried out with a loud voice, saying, "Let us alone! What do we have to do with thee, thou Jesus of Nazareth? Art thou come to destroy us? I know thee who thou art, the Holy One of God." And Jesus rebuked him, saying, "Hold thy peace, and come out of him." And when the devil had thrown him in the midst, that means he threw him on the floor, he came out of him and hurt him not. And they were all amazed and spake among themselves, saying, "What a word is this? For with authority and power he commanded the unclean spirits, and they came out." And the fame of him went out into every place of that country and round about. And he arose out of the synagogue and entered into Simon's house. And Simon's wife's mother, Simon's mother-in-law, was taken with a great fever, and they besought him for her. And he stood over her and rebuked the fever, and it left her. And immediately she arose and ministered unto them. "Goodness, we have guests. Can I get you boys something to eat?" And he stood over her and rebuked her, and it left her. So anything that Jesus rebukes doesn't get to stay, doesn't matter the gender. And immediately she arose and ministered unto them. Doesn't need time to evolve. The moment Jesus speaks it, it's done, and the other side is lost. Now when the sun was setting, all they that had any sick with divers diseases, that's compression sickness, divers diseases, So that's the person who edited this Bible. That is his comparison to Tay-Sachs. He believes this is why it is that they can't walk. It's his theory. He was a person of science, so maybe. I believe Tay-Sachs is genetic, and compression sickness is brought on by activities. I highly doubt that from a small child they were, diving, beneath a certain pressure of the ocean floor or the Mediterranean Sea. Now when the sun was setting, all they that had any sick with divers diseases brought them unto him, and he laid hands on every one of them and healed them. And devils also came out of many, crying out and saying, Thou art Christ, the Son of God. And he rebuked them, suffered them not to speak, for they knew he was the Christ. He's trying to keep that on the down low, because he doesn't want the trouble. And that's part of the scriptures. And when it was day, he departed and went into a desert place. So wanted some solitude. And the people sought him, and came unto him, and stayed him, that he should not depart from them. And he said unto them, I must preach the kingdom of God to other cities also, for therefore am I sent. And he preached in the synagogues of Galilee. He determined he must preach everywhere he goes. Traveling preacher. The original model, literally. I hope you guys will join me tomorrow when we will start chapter 5. Until then.